everyone, welcome to the show. I am Dakore Ependu, transmitting live in Abuja, Nigeria. It is your Global 360 Security News Show, and we are kickstarting the show with Colin Sajibola on our weekly newspaper review. Let's get started with the nations from Monday. And we have a story that says government negotiating through ex-bandits to free school girls. We also have a story that says the Christian Association of Nigeria opposes talks with abductors. Yobe shot school, 7 killed in Kaduna, 10 kidnapped in Niger State. Collins, going through all of this, we saw the headlines, government negotiating through ex-bandits to free schools. Now, the question is, how safe or how feasible is this kind of a deal for Nigerians, not just for the schoolgirls, but then for other situations we may have in hand?
Thank you, Dakore, for having me. Good day, viewers. First and foremost, I think I must congratulate everyone involved that the girls are back home from the dens of the kidnappers, and we are happy that they are back home, even though for now a lot still has to be done concerning their mental states, their health states, and also, most importantly, their psychological state of mind, having gone through that very torturous moment. If you spend even an hour in a kidnapper's den, it can be very traumatic. So having spent days, then girls of that little age, it's one that ravaged everybody's mental state. But like I said earlier, we are happy they are back home. Congratulations to every Nigerian, because we are all indirectly or directly involved. But coming to this to the topic and also the headline as it were, government negotiating with ex-bandits. I think that's where we seriously need to, as a government, as a nation, need to perhaps rediscover and retrace our steps. Because if you are saying, okay, let peace reign, and you give some people some second opportunity or second chance, as it were, and they still have links to where you think they should have left and perhaps gone way past it as their past, they should by now, according to the word, de-radicalize and also reintegrated into the society. If they still have links to that past, then it's a source of worry, because it shows that
that is going through the ex-bandits.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Ideally, if you are an ex-bandit and if truly they have been completely de-radicalized and also reintegrated, they should ordinarily total cut off.
Is this even safe for the government and for the people?
Well, that's where we are going. If somebody says, I am a repentant fellow, just like the biblical explanation, all the things are passed away, you shouldn't even be looking behind. So if the ex-bandits are still having ties with those who refuse to lay down their arms or perhaps accept the various measures that governments at all levels have brought to say, look, let's have peace, it's a source of worry.
But then again, Collins, let me ask you, but then again, do you think it is a sort of security intelligence, and it will lead away to the government, or for the government finding out more things about them, because they have been there, they know all it takes, they know what goes on, so probably perhaps leading the government to some safety measures? Do you think so?
Well, I'll take a different stance to that. Yes, if it is, by now we shouldn't be going from a worse state to another worse state. It should rather be reducing. Some people should have been brought to book. Some culprits should have been arrested. Some of their hideouts, some of their camps should have been disintegrated. And also, yes, kudos to the armed forces and other security agents. Many a times we see reports and also pictorial evidence of those that have been neutralized. But if we are using the ex-bandits as a form of intelligence gathering and what have you, then we should have made so many things in board. The issue of banditry is on the increase.
The issue of banditry is just on the increase. But then, how can we ensure security for all Nigerians?
It's a collective effort. It's a collective effort. We've seen and we've heard of stories where communities come out to say, look, we pay so that we will not be attacked. We've heard of even unconfirmed reports of some governors even giving bandits money so that they will not, their state will not be attacked or what have you. So it's a collective effort. We must first and foremost take the reorientation down to the grassroots to say, look, this is hampering progression. This is actually a hindrance to the progress of everyone and every society. Now look at how education is being bastardized in the north. It's actually bad. It's not good for the future of this country. Not now, not tomorrow, not even forever.
All right, then let's take the Punch for Tuesday. We have a story that says Southern states dismiss blockades. North food traders insist on strike. We have a lot of security top stories here for Tuesday coming from the Punch. Lagos court finds 172 arrested at Cubana nightclub, 6.8 million naira. Now, Collins, with the farmers' headers crisis in the country, how can the rule of law be used as a vehicle for inclusiveness and emancipation to secure lives and property? Now that we've gotten to this level, the farmer headers crisis across the region.
When we say farmers headers crisis, I think we should begin to look at things holistically. This is not to actually perhaps come and lay claims for the headers now, but I think there are some criminal elements among them that we mustn't take away. We have the Fulani criminals, and just also we have across all other sectors and all other perhaps parts of the country. We've seen we've seen reports, we've seen investigation by our security agents where they see somebody from other parts of the country supplying arms to somebody in other parts of the country. So when we say farmers headers crisis, sometimes yes, there are criminal ones amongst them, but we should also know that it will not be good to actually tag somebody.
But then Collins, with everything going on in the country, like we are seeing on the Punch newspaper for Tuesday, crisis is not good for the country.
It's not. If you look at, let's even take examples of some of African brothers that have gone through it and they are going through it now. People still talk about Rwanda, but the fact is it's not still yet Uhuru for Rwanda. Look at what's happening in Sierra Leone, look at what's happening in DR Congo, in other parts of Africa, for instance. You see, look at what's happening in Syria. Look at what's happening in the eastern part of the world. So you see what now. If you look at Libya before and now, it's a complete different thing. Libya has completely crumbled. What happened? Crisis. So there's no way you celebrate. When sometimes people, and I think again it goes for everybody, especially those of us who are always on the public fora. We should also mind our utterances.
Okay, all right. We saw a story that says Lagos court finds 172 arrested at Cubana nightclub, 6.8 million naira. Now, it seems a lot of Nigerian youth do not really believe that COVID-19 is real. But then how can we measure or restrict them, from going to nightclubs or from going to clubs?
I think one of the measures is actually bringing the punitive punishment on anybody that goes. There has been federal laws now to say, look, these are COVID protocols that you must obey. If you still don't believe that COVID is real, then I think the person's mental state needs to actually be checked. Yes, exactly. We know what's happening across the world now. The world is completely different from what it is. So if we keep arresting those and perhaps giving them that fair trial or putting punitive measures to actually tackle it, I think a lot will go. We talk about face masks. How many people do you see even in the city center here wearing face masks? But again, it's on those agencies that are saddled with the responsibility of educating, enlightening, and keep reorientating Nigeria. Like I keep asking, what's the role of the NOA? What have they done so far?
The national.
Exactly. What have they done so far? If the onus is on them, the responsibility. I should see NOA always, now and always, and ever when I see PTF and perhaps PTF briefing Nigerians on where we were, where we are now, and what we are heading to. So that at the end of it all, NOA comes up. That's their work. Comes up to say, look, reorientate Nigerians. We are still fighting this menace. Let's keep fighting it until the world comes back to normal.
Quickly, let's go through our Wednesday news headlines. Coming from Daily Sun, we have a story that says United States, United Kingdom, European Union, others hail as COVID-19 vaccine arrives and Nigeria scrambles to book date for vaccination. Insecurity, Ugwai and the Inspector General of Police insist on community policing. MFLAs unveil rice pyramids, tax Nigerians on farming to attain food security. Federal government declares Zamfara no-fly zone. Collins, they are just okay, let me pick this one more. Makinde Abdurazak, Monarch's security agencies meet in Ibadan over insecurity. Now, if you would agree, a lot has really been going on in the country. We keep talking and talking, but then, is there a measure or a universal moral principle, if there is in the country, that we are actually abiding on? How do we spread and uphold all of these values, especially on COVID-19 distribution? The vaccine has actually arrived in the country. We may have a lot of, call it mixed conduct?
No, I don't think there will be misconduct. For now, with the arrival of over 3 million doses of the vaccine, I think COVAX vaccine, I think the government's already taking very good steps to ensure that 20% of Nigerians, according to the statistics, get vaccinated. But
now that's the point. Now, whereby we have other countries obeying their universal moral principles. In Nigeria, do you think that would work?
It will. That's why I stressed the issue and the reorientating part of it. We must keep educating ourselves. We must keep telling ourselves to say, look. And again, it's not just only on the NOA. The message should actually be changed. Somebody tells somebody, the other person tells somebody. Because, for instance, now if I am in a public transport or in a public setting and you're not putting on your mask, I usually tell people that, look, aside the fact that I even belong to the celebrity commercial, I tell you that, look, you must put on your mask. It is not for anything, for your safety and for my safety. So we must keep telling each other. The news must keep being spread by everyone involved until we see the end of this pandemic. We shouldn't just perhaps rest on our oars.
All right, now federal government declares Zamfara no-fly zone. Now, in a world, or rather in a country, we have increasing attacks by bandits. Now, declaring a state no-fly zone, what is your take on it?
It's actually a very good step. It is a very good step by the president. But again, in addition to that, he also declared that illegal mining should actually be stopped for now.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, this is not the first time the president is making that kind of statement about the banning of illegal mining. Have we checked if it's been effective over the time? And again, if you look at the no-fly zone too, I can tell you that except there was a clearance from the NCAA, after it was declared that the Zamfara is no-fly zone, I think I still monitored about 2 flights via an app or something that flew through Zamfara. Maybe, like I said, they received that approval from NCAA, or I saw an Ethiopian airline fly through Gusau heading to its destination. So, because if you say no-fly zone, it means that the airspace of that particular area should be cordoned off completely,
entirely,
except they are in a very rare case and you must receive an approval, otherwise such an aircraft will be shut down. But it is good, because if we are doing this over perhaps monitoring and securing our airspace, we must also do it on the ground. What is the state of our land borders? It is so porous, for us to say the least. People just, the point of entry and exit is just it's just too free. Because if you hear people talking about those who are attacking Nigerians and not Nigerians, they are from neighboring countries, did they disappear into our shores? They came through a means, and most times they came through the land border. So what's happening? Those who are saddled, those who are mounting our land borders, what are they doing there?